my name is Natalia and I'm coming to you from Denmark, and this is Knitting Podcast. Today is 10th of December. We put our Christmas tree up in the first days of December, 3rd, I believe, or 4th. So I decided to use this opportunity and make a podcast near our Christmas tree. It's 12 o'clock in the morning, I guess, and it's quite dark outside. I'm sitting in front of the window and trying to catch as much light as I can, but as you see my background, it's all dark. So we will just go with this light and we'll see how it goes. I don't have that much things to show today. I have 2 finished objects. They are both quite small, and then I have a couple of work in progress. But we will start, as always, with what I'm wearing. And today I'm wearing this pullover. It's called Sora pullover by Sari Nordlund. It's really nice sweater. I just knitted this a couple of years ago. It calls for fingering weight yarn. The main color is fingering weight yarn, and there is some contrasting color with what you do ribbon on top in this brioche stitch. Then there are really nice pattern on the cuffs. I use variegated weight yarn, so it's quite hard to see the patterning, but I really like the effect, so I like it. And there's also a ribbon in the bottom, also made in brioche stitch. It's top-down construction, and raglan line is a little deeper as normally, but it's make this nice fit when it's not too tight, but don't have too much positive ease. And sleeve, it's like a little puffy, so if I remember right, we was knitting this, you knit the sleeves without decreasing, and then you decrease right before you are making cuff. Really like the sweater. I'm always leaving the links to name of patterns, designers' names, and my project page on Ravelry, so you always can see all this information down below in description. Let's start with finished object. So as I was telling before, every year in this Advent time I'm working on Mitten Advent Calendar by Kathy Lewinski. In the beginning of this year, I had 13 mittens done. Last week, I showed that I made 1 mitten. It was number 14. And this week I made 1 more. It's number 15. I didn't block it yet, so it's kind of like hard to see that it's number 15 here, but it's there. And I tried a new technique with this one. I tried to knit them on addi trio, and it went really good, really nice. And I feel like it was much easier. And it wasn't that tight to knit it. So I feel that is the way to go with addi trio. It was really nice to knit it. And this also have quite easy pattern, so it's like pattern is repeating every 2 rows. And first, I don't know if it's okay to tell all about construction, because the pattern have pay for and free version, so you can see myself. And this time I made the Latvian braid here on top right. I figured out what mistake I made before, in previous, and technically in the pattern it's tell you should knit first row. But I thought I should knit this with the color what I cast on. But when I looked in the pattern, that it was knitted in 2 different colors. So like the colors what corresponds to these colors in this Latvian braid. That's why mine looked weird. But I know this now, so this one I made right. So that's my number 15. So I have 9 to go. We will see how much more of them I will make. I will try to put the picture of some of the mittens what I already made. I think they look great. First, I wasn't sure about my color combination. When I started it, I picked up this white, black, and then I was missing one more color. So I couldn't find, and back that time my stash wasn't that big. So I found this pink color and went with that. So all my mittens are white, black, and this dusty pink. It's not like really bright pink. But first I thought, I don't know if I'm sure about this pink color, but I like it. Yeah, so I'm going with this. And from now we'll try to knit them more on addi trios. That's I want to show you my color combination. I have not a lot the white color left, but if something I will switch this to another, or I hope it will be enough. So that's my color combination. And I'm using yarn, it's Kauni. I don't have bands anymore for this black and white, but just for pink. So it's 100% wool, and it's have 400 meters in 100 gram. Kauni, and that's, you can see how many meters it's in gram. So yes, my first finished object. My second finished object is socks. As you remember my journey with this socks, what I made in 3 different methods. And this one, the biggest pair, I was knitting on this addi trio. And from seeing how big my gauge is on this, using this method in comparison to 9-inch or magic loop, I decided it's cool things to use for color work. Then this will be, my knitting will not be that tight. But now I finally finished them. So I will probably insert the picture how these 3 pairs look, because I have no clue how to show them all. They look like that. See, even pattern look differently in this one because of gauge difference. So yes, that was socks knitted on 9-inch circulars. This one was knitted on magic loop, and the biggest socks was knitted on addi trio. And last time I was telling you that I use 55 rows here on the leg, or 50, I believe 50 rows here on the leg, and I tell that I use here 65, but no, I look in my notes back and I use 55. So don't know how to show you difference, but there's like big difference, and there's just 5 rows of difference, so it's not that much. I don't know if it's good or bad for socks if they are knitted on looser gauge. I personally don't really like socks on looser gauge because I kind of like feel them while I'm walking. But I know that many people, especially like not knitters, they not really use socks to walk in. They are like use them to be at home, or I don't know, cozy up with the family on the sofa. So I don't know, but as for me, I will probably don't use that loose gauge on the socks, but I think it will be perfect for color work. So that's my second finished objects, and this 3 pair of socks will be presents. I just don't know if I gonna see the people who they are for before Christmas, or I should just pack and send them. So we will see how that will go. That's my all finished object. Now I have half a finished object and then work in progress. Let's go to half finished object. So last time I was showing you my second try in hand-dyed self-striping yarn, and I started the socks with that yarn. I'll probably show you that yarn. I'm still using this, I believe, makeup bag as a project bag, and still happy about this. So that was my second try in dyeing self-striping yarn. And last time I casted on the socks, and I have not all top of the socks knitted, but some of it. And I finished one sock already. Really happy how it look. Yeah. Now I need, I casted the socks from cuff down. Normally I like to do socks toe up, but I decided for this to do with cuff. So I casted on my normal stitch count 56 stitches, then I knit 10 rows of ribbon, and then just continued for 44 rows here on the leg. Then I knitted, I'm almost forgetting the name of this heel, shadow rope short row heel, yes, shadow rope short row heel. And then I knit the foot for the 50 rows, and then make toe decreases. Yeah, I like how it look. I didn't make any contrast here for the heel. I like how it look like this. I know that striping it's like changing a little, but it's not bothers me. I like it. These two gray, they look quite similar. It's hard to show difference now, especially with this lighting, but they kind of like different. This top gray is more like gray with blue, and this gray is more like gray with green color, if it makes sense. I think you can see difference. Yeah. So I'm happy with this. That's my half-finished objects with my second try of self-striping yarn. And in comparison, I have this sock. I had this finished already last time. I just put this on sock blockers. As you see here, I made the repeat of 4 colors, this yellow, red, grayish, and orange. And on this sock, I made 5 color repeats, so I make 2 different grays, black, blue, and green colors. So here are stripes a little thinner, here are thicker, but like them both. So here I have just one done. This was done previous time, and I continued to knit on them. This socks I'm knitting on magic loop. Yes, and this I'm knitting on 9-inch circulars. As I tell, 9-inch circulars is not the fastest method for me, but I kind of like this. It's nice to knit when you're on a bus or fast project piece to have with you. And I also feel like this project bag is quite matchy with this by colors and I don't know, vibes. So I'm continuing to using this. And on my second sock, I already made the leg, made heel, and now I'm knitting on the foot. So far I'm putting stitch markers every 10 rows. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 3.5, I don't know. Let's tell 35 rows, and I need to make 50 and then toe decreases. Maybe I will finish them during the weekend. We will see how that will go. So that's my second sock. I didn't try to match them or anything like that. They will look like a pair anyway, and they are for me, so I didn't bother to try to match. Still didn't wait how much I have left, so have no clue if I will have enough for one more pair or will need to do some contrast into this. But yeah, I'm really excited how that looks and happy to have this experiment with hand dyeing self-striping yarn. My next work in progress is a sweater that I'm trying to make for myself. I had this idea to make a sweater with long splits on the side and use this like sweater to use at home. So I want to achieve some boxy shape, then long splits on the sides, and make some slim fitted sleeves. Yeah, and I didn't decided yet if I want to make what neckline I want to put, but because I'm doing this sweater from bottom up, it's not a problem for a long time yet. I thought actually today that when we are knitting sweater top down, it feels like we knit in sweater and we feel like it's easier and faster, because when we custom, it's kind of like in our head is already looking like a sweater, and in the moment when we are here like splitting for the sleeves, we are like oh, I'm almost done, I'm like there, even if it's like just a small part of the work, and after this we have all body to knit and sleeves, but it feels like we achieve a lot because we make a big part of construction, what is like hard work. We have a lot of calculation and other things, but then sleeves and body, it feels like it's more straightforward knitting, so it's easier. But when we are knitting bottom up sweaters or seamless, the sweater would need to be seamed after, we always knit like front, back, or I don't know, 2 fronts, and the sleeves, and all the time we are knitting parts which need to be assembled in the end, and like all hard work is in the end, so it can feels like it's harder work, even it's nothing like that, but I feel that's a trick what our brain is playing with us. But yeah, let's talk about sweater. So my sweater is living in this French supply bag, and I knitted the front, then I start knitted the back, but then I rip up my front again. So I don't really often knit sweaters flat, so I feel like my gauge is different, and I feel like it wasn't that, my gauge wasn't that consistent. So while I was knitting front, I felt like I saw a difference in the rows, like maybe how I knitted pearl stitches affected this. I have no clue what affected this, but I saw that my fabric wasn't that flat and wasn't that smooth, so some stitches was like bigger or smaller, didn't like that. So when I started to knit the back, when I put like front on the side and started to knit in the back, I tried to pull stitches more tight, and I like the gauge on the back much better. So after I finish the back, I rip all the front back to the ribbon and start that again. Let me show you how it's look for now. As I tell, it's a sweater what I'm making bottom up, and because of splits what I want to achieve, I'm knitting them separately, front and back. So that's how sweater look for now. That will be a back part. Don't know how good you can see yarn. I will try to show you them in the cake. It's like this off-white color with minty green and a pink speckles. This yarn isn't produced anymore. I bought this on clearance sale, I believe. This yarn, I'm trying to find the label. Yeah, it's Luxus Sock Yarn by Mayflower, and it's fingering weight yarn. It's 75% wool and 25 nylon, and they call this hand dyed, but I know that it's made on a factory, so it's probably like this big batch on hand dyed yarn. So yeah, I had just 3 skins of this yarn, and one skin was had like some splits in this and was really badly, I don't know, twisted. I don't know what happens with that skin, but it was hard work to wind that, and I had like 4 balls out of that, and maybe an hour of work to put in wind this yarn. But so far I'm happy how it looks. I'm making here on the edge, I'm making some ribbing to avoid curling in the end. And I make longer rib in the back part and shorter on the front. So as I rip the front again, and now my front look like that. It's much smaller as it was. I need like do 30 rows more before it will be the same length as back part. It will not be the same length because I want to have shorter ribbon on the front part and longer on the bottom, on the back part. I don't know why. But yeah, that's how the yarn look. First I thought that it will be too busy, but I think it will be nice for the sweater. So far all I can show is these two parts. It's not look like sweater. It's just front and back, but that's a lot of work and I feel awesome. I don't know if it's true, but many people tell that the speed of the purling is slower as speed of the knit stitches. Maybe that's, but this comment not that fast as I will want, but I will look forward to have a new sweater. Yes. I have two more work in progress. They're quite big, but they didn't have a lot of progress after last time. Last time I was talking with you that I'm using mini skins, what I'm getting in my advent calendar, in my cozy memory blanket. And here is that what I knitted this week in. So this year I started with this pink square and I don't remember how many I had when I showed you this last time. Yeah, let's tell that it's last seven squares are there. So this my 7 colors. I cannot name you that because with some swaps I'm having names of the yarn, with some no. Like this one I remember because it was yarn from W.I.P.s, and I never tried that yarn, never knitted anything with this, so it was quite excited to try this. This was West Yorkshire Spinnery yarn. I don't remember name. Something like forest or foresty. Yeah, but out of this I don't remember names. But it's really nice, really exciting. I finished one more row, so now I should start from another part. And yeah, I'm so excited to finish this blanket. I'm not finished that yet. It will be really great to finish that. One more blanket I didn't show on a podcast for a while, so I decided to bring it today and show you that. So this is a blanket what I'm making for my daughter. So last time I put a stitch marker where I was last time. It was here on this black stripe. I will try to show this better. Yeah. So here on this stitch marker I was last time, and I knitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. I'm working on 16 round. For me it's how quite like 60s vibe colors, how they are looking in, but I'm really happy how it looks. My daughter like it, so we continue with that and with how it looks. Crochet blanket use much more yarn as knitted blanket, so I'm not sure that with all that yarn what I put aside it will be enough for the blanket, but we always can get more yarn. It's okay. I think even if I will go more through my stash, I will find the colors what's needed for this blanket. But other of this, it was all for my podcast. here in Denmark, we are going back to some measures of lockdown as before. So we already have like 2 weeks when we need to wear masks again when on the public transport or in shops. We was without mask already for some time, but now the numbers it's getting higher again in Denmark. So we was told to wear masks again, and now they are making available vaccination for the kids from 5 years. So we are waiting for invitation for vaccination for my son. And just 2 days ago, we found out that kids from school will be sent for the Christmas holiday earlier and will stay there longer. So from next week we have two more days in school, and then kids are sent on vacation. And normally we also have like I don't know, after school care for the kids, but kids can stay until parents are at work, but they closed that for the vacation time. So it will be possible to do this just if all none of the parents have possibility to stay at home. And my husband is continue working, but because I also have I'm studying at university, so this time I have just preparing for exams, so I'm home. So my son will be staying with me at home, and I have no clue how to pull all this together. It sounds like easy, but because as I told before, I need to prepare for exams, so I will need to figure out how to make this not boring to my son and how to get time for myself to prepare. But we still hope that everything will be okay and we will pull through this lockdown again. I will try to insert some couple of videos about what we are doing now in the Christmas time. I decided to don't do vlogmas this year. That's a lot of work and I'm not ready to pull all this work now. So now after this video I will just try to put some small clips of what we was doing during this Christmas time, and maybe we'll put something like that next video also. So if you're interested, keep watching. If that's not something for you, then see you next time. Hope you're all well and see you next time. Hi.